Hello and welcome back to the Variant Cast. This is a bit of a different episode. Trent is unavailable. He got a undisclosed disease, so I went ahead, thought it would be a good idea. Living in the Pacific Northwest and all that, we are kind of known for our wineries. Went down to the local winery, found a little pathway. Behind the little pathway, there was a village of an Amish community. Found this nice Amish boy who looked like Trent, gave him a Star Wars shirt, and now we're here. He's going to talk about movies with me. I don't know if he's seen a movie, knows what a movie is, but...
Never seen the movie.
Yeah.
This is a nice teddy bear on the shirt.
Yeah.
Excited to be here. Kind of nervous with all this electronics around me because you did steal me away from my village.
Yeah.
And, I'm not used to having electricity. Don't have any power.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of new for me. You had to tell me how to hold a microphone, so that was kind of new thing.
Yeah.
That's
And if you guys are curious why someone from an Amish community would agree to this, alcohol like generally does it. Even if they don't quite understand the concept of brewing, they get down. So really, we're gonna go ahead and dive into the movies coming out in August. We're going to be experiencing a lot of stuff for the first time, but mainly we're gonna just have a good time here in person for an in-person episode of the Variant Cast. If you do enjoy the show, feel free to subscribe. At this point, we're getting real close to triple digits. So
yep, I think we're 18 away at this point. So smash that subscribe button. Get us to 100.
That would be really appreciated. If you are the person that hits the subscribe button at 100, make sure to leave a comment. Or if you are the person that left their black Kia Rio parked in my driveway, also leave a comment. I've been looking for you for a while. Other than that, we're going to be doing our favorite game here, Rot or Tot. Now, I know all of our returning audience that is very dedicated to the show, they know exactly what it is. But to explain it to you, there's a website called Rotten Tomatoes, which is it kind of brings all the critic reviews and determines if a movie is a rotten movie or a certified fresh movie.
I got you.
We refer to the certified fresh movies as TOTS because Rotten Tomato, and then we refer to the rotten movies as ROTS.
I got you.
So our job here is we're going to go through trailers of movies that are going to be coming out in the upcoming month of September. September, obviously, not the biggest movie month, known for football season, back to school season, a couple silly towers falling down, a lot of other stuff other than movies, but we got a decent slate here, so I'm excited to get into it and see what you think, Amish Trent.
Yeah. I'm excited to see this so-called movie.
So, before we left off, I don't know the exact score. We are recording this in August, so we're still letting the reviews finalize before we calculate where the score is at. But if you are interested, we do update that fairly regularly. So you can go back to the last episode if you're curious what the score is. But from what I know, I am winning by a couple, maybe one or two. So you got to pick it up this month.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go ahead and give you the first draft pick. We're going to be looking at 8 movies today. So we're each going to be picking 2 ROTS, 2 TOTS, and we do have the ability to challenge the other person. So if the other person picks a TOT, we could challenge that as a ROT, in which case there will be 1 movie unselected, but we will still have 2 ROTS, 2 TOTS,
Yeah.
So go ahead and pick one.
All right. So looking at this list, I think I'm just going to go with the one at the top of the list, the one that I've heard a little bit about, which is Megalopolis.
Megalopolis. I don't know too much about this movie. I know it's got a hell of a cast, Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf, Lawrence Fishburne, and obviously Adam Driver, I believe, is the lead. So we're going to go ahead and give this a watch. If you are listening along and you would like to see the video as well, we do generally upload these trailer reactions as well as like the full video on YouTube. So go ahead and give that a look.
When its people no longer believe in it.
Don't let the now destroy the forever.
That looks sick. I am here for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, welcome.
Seems to be a bit of a Hollywood resurgence. I won't say it's a new thing in Hollywood,
Is
but
this society?
at least a resurgence on
Is this
a bit
way
more
we're living?
avant-garde
The only one that's available.
visuals. Obviously, Poor Things was a massive success. I don't know financially, but critically. And this gives some Poor Things vibes a little bit. Just in
When we
terms
ask
of
these
a
questions-
few
Yeah.
of the visuals.
In the
The
fact that they're
dialogue
able
about
to kind of keep that same
basically is
artistry while having like this, it seems like huge budget and ensemble cast. I feel like it's really impressive.
Yeah, I imagine this will probably be a top for you.
Yeah, definitely a top.
And yeah, I mean, this is a movie that like I'm surprised is being made, and I'm surprised I'm just now hearing about. Obviously, I'm sure it's not a secret by any means, but this looks like it took a lot of money to make. Maybe I'm underestimating this. I don't know what the budget is on this, but it looks fairly large budget. They're having it come out in September, so generally that would indicate that it is more for adult audiences. You wouldn't have like something aimed at mass audiences come out in September.
Yeah,
Just isn't smart practice. But one thing you do get with a September release is a bit of a more uncontested window. So I could see this doing well. I think there is a bit more of a push for smarter films when it comes to theaters at this point. And I could see this maybe doing something with the cast in the 400 to 500 million range.
yeah, for sure.
Well, that being said, I think I'm gonna go for a tot here. I don't know too much about any of these films, but I'm gonna go with the Wild Robot. This is a DreamWorks movie by some of the people that did How to Train Your Dragon. About a robot.
Incident report. At 0300 hours, a number of Universal Dynamics robots were
DreamWorks
lost
kind of
in
been
a
on a roll
typhoon.
recently with Puss in Boots.
Chance of
and,
recovery
what was the?
is unlikely.
I feel like there was a movie in between then and now that was released, but I can't think of the name of it.
DreamWorks always kind of flies under the radar as a studio, I think. Obviously, the movies are very well known and very well received, but
I see your problem.
I just in terms of the amount of like press something like a Illumination film gets, honestly,
Yeah.
or obviously Pixar. In that
Language.
sense.
You need to learn how things work
But this looks
on
cute.
this island.
Feels like there's gonna be a lot of
Hello.
kind of humor akin to like a
Goslings
lot of
are pretty dumb
robot
first
stuff,
thing they see.
Wall-E,
Which
stuff
would
like
be
that.
you.
Of just
Iron
like,
Giant.
Mother now.
yeah, just robot
I
not
do not
understanding
have the programming.
No one does. He needs to swim and fly.
nature.
Swimming's easy. I can teach him the way my mom taught me. Swim!
Who was the bad guys? Is what I was
He's
thinking.
a runt.
DreamWorks
His
movie.
chances
Oh,
are
right,
super
the
good.
furry movie.
I will protect him.
Right.
Which it has a similar style to this with kind of the
He's gotta leave this
painterly
island by
look.
fall.
I feel like the bad guys was a little
Right,
bit
Bill?
more like line drawn
It is
art
more
and
dangerous
stuff like
for
that,
him
and this is more
than anyone else.
traditionally 3D animated.
The backgrounds do look
But he
like paintings,
has
though,
a
Yeah.
chance.
and that's cool. At first, I
If
did
where
think
his
it looked a little
wings
flat
end,
going in, but when you get more
his
to the
heart
nature scenes
will pay the
versus
balance.
like where they were showing like,
You were
Big
not
city?
easy to find.
it really, really beautiful visuals, and I imagine there's going to be some screenshots from this movie that are just
anything at all.
amazing.
Mom?
But this is adorable. This is a robot raising a duck.
Sometimes to survive,
This is absolutely
we
adorable.
must
Classic
become
adventure
more
story.
than we were programmed to be.
This is one of those things
I
that
will
I
protect
think,
all of you.
You are ordered
you know,
to return home.
when you get old,
I
you
am
start
already
getting
home.
a little jaded
I am
at
a
the kids'
wild
movies that
robot.
come out. And you're like, oh, the stuff I grew up with was so much better. I didn't grow up with anything this freaking. That's not true. I grew up with some cool stuff, but this is really cool. I wish I grew up with this, and like just being a kid. Mark Hamill's in this, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm taking that as a tot just because I'm rooting for it.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Wild Orbit as a tot. We've each taken one tot. Where are you going next, Trent?
I think I'm going to go with I'll take a rot. And I think I'll go with Speak No Evil.
Oh. Speak No Evil. James McAvoy. I think that's the main person in this.
Yep.
I've
Seen a James McAvoy movie. You probably know what you're in for.
Now,
right. You know, standard Professor X, right? I don't know much about this movie, but I'll actually get to that later in the episode. I went to the theaters to watch
and be completely normal.
that romance movie, and it ends with us. So I forgot about that. I'll talk about that later. And just Blake Lively and some of the drama around that. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. But we're gonna take a look at Speak No Evil, which you're thinking is a rot. I assume you've seen this trailer.
Yeah. Can't go to a movie theater without seeing this trailer.
We don't chew with our mouths open.
Please, could you stop telling my daughter what to do?
You don't criticize other people's children. You should say sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, Louise.
Louise, is there anything you'd like to say?
I could definitely I'm seeing a world where this is good,
Yeah.
or at least like a 74% on Rotten Tomato or something. It looks like it's shot okay, and it's a thriller, which, you know, generally when you have a thriller with a good actor screaming his head off, like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be well received.
I've always wanted
But-
a family like yours.
I do agree, from what I've seen from this movie, it does look just
What is wrong with you?
very samey.
I want to back up the car, and I want to leave now.
Oh no!
And
that is really.
Normally,
bad
I think
luck.
you'd be hoping going into this that there would be some sort of twist,
I know we can
something
both be
sinister,
a bit
maybe
much.
paranormal. I don't know, but it kind of feels like they give it away. That
You're going to kill him.
they're snipping vocal cords.
He went dead.
At least one of the shots that's coming up here
Right here.
of the kid just
You're either predator.
mimicking scissors as he
You're prey.
can't scream. To me, would indicate that they snipped his vocal cords, and the fact that they
You guys have been
show that they can't speak.
Breath of fresh air. Oh, well, that is very sweet of you to say.
It's got a classic lobotomy drill.
Gotta say, James McAvoy is very unsettling as an actor.
Yes.
If I ran into him on the street, I'd probably, probably be a little scared.
All right. Well, yeah, I think that movie will do well enough. for probably how much it cost. Trailer has about 20 some million views on YouTube. Like they seem to be putting a lot of marketing in it though. So if there's anything that loses this movie money, it would just be the marketing budget.
Yeah.
I don't think it needed that as much of a marketing budget as it's had. I don't think it's going to be a big hit. Maybe they think it is, but I'm going to go ahead and also shoot for a rot just because I'm not sure, like looking at these, how many rots are actually on the board. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Amber Alert, even though I'd like for this movie to be good with Tyler James Williams. But, you know, everybody seems to hate this guy, so. If you don't understand that joke, he is the Everybody Hates Chris kid.
Charlotte Bryce, 7
From
years old,
Abbott
yellow
Elementary
dress,
fame.
white shoes, pink socks. Abduction. Right in front of her mom.
I will say probably
This is
in terms
Sergeant
of like
Casey
following
requesting an Amber Alert,
movies,
immediate dispatch.
And following sports at the same time. There's always like a big like payoff when the guy that you've been like touting actually like balls out and stuff. And I think there's kind of a similar thing with actors, especially going from like TV to movies. Yeah. Like I very much like feel that with Jeremy Allen White, just being a big fan of him on Shameless, and then him getting the bear role and then absolutely killing that. And now getting in more movies with Iron Claw instead. And everyone talking about how solid of an actor he is. And, also, like, I feel justified in thinking he's handsome now because everyone thinks he's handsome. He's got a weird face, absolutely. But he's got a handsomely weird face.
Yeah.
We need to exercise extreme caution. This creep is armed, and they're not.
But like, I don't know, Tyler James Williams also kind of feels like one of those. I think most of us around our age grew up with Everybody Hates Chris. Like, I think it was like Nick at Night.
Yeah,
generally played. And Abbott Elementary, I think he's probably the funniest person on that show.
Yeah. And they give him like stuff to do where he's kind of stepping out of his shell a little bit in Abbott Elementary, and I feel like Hollywood recognizes that, and hopefully they'll start using him more.
Well, he's getting a lead role here. This doesn't look like anything special. It looks very bland.
Yeah,
but you know, at the end of the day, it could be a good movie. That's what's so tough about these Rotter Tots, especially like trying to predict the rots. Like, you don't get a Borderlands every single month.
Yeah,
there's not just a slam dunk. Oh, this is a bad movie.
Yeah,
there's not a Rebel Moon just sitting there every month. And this is one of those months where most of these movies look solid. So I'm okay with that being a rot.
Yeah. So I think I will go with Transformers 1 as my next one. So this is a CG animated Transformers movie. Mm-hmm. So stepping out of the live action franchise, and it's going to be released in theaters. So I feel like kind of cool for Transformers fans.
Yeah, I know this is something that they've been asking
we have been
for a
at
really
war.
long time. A film just
before we
100% based on Cybertron. I don't think we ever would have got this in live action just with how much it would have cost
brothers. You're right.
to do something like this. It either wouldn't be satisfying, and they would end up it would be very dark and dreary, and
my finger can
probably look like a Zack Snyder film. Just because you wouldn't be able to show like the landscapes of what like Cybertron is supposed to be. So I think this is the best choice to make it animated to.
And if they wanted to do a thing where they were like, this is, canon to the live action movies, like I feel like that could totally work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just a
cave with teeth.
I feel like they're always so hesitant to do that because I feel like they think audiences will be like repulsed by that idea.
Yeah.
But I think for something like this, it would work, and you could. This is telling a new story to a lot of kids. Obviously, if you grew up in like the 80s, you do have an idea of this stuff. But like me personally, growing up in the late 2000s, like this was just such a glossed over part of Transformers lore.
Yeah.
Like we know Cybertron got destroyed, but like how exactly? Why were they just like constantly at war?
He's different.
What are Decepticons and Autobots really? Is it politics? Are they different races? Like what is happening?
Yeah.
What happened to my best friend?
Because like you can switch, right?
Like when you could switch like your parts.
Like you could switch like your affiliation. You could become a Autobot.
Like a Decepticon.
So.
Yeah. But they did show like in this trailer like a branding of a Decepticon, like an iron branding. So I don't know if maybe that will be explored a little bit. Maybe Autobot will switch over and they'll put in the Decepticon look.
Now is the time for us to stand up together as one.
So yeah, I think that's a top. The Transformers fan will go out full force. See that, and you know, as long as it's not terrible, I think it's going to be received well.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty
Steve
solid
Buscemi?
cast. Yeah, Keegan-Michael Keel, Scarlett
Hamm.
Johansson, like you said, John Hamm, Lawrence Fishburne, and Brian Tyree Henry. Like
great cast
for voice acting. Money went into this. Money absolutely went into this. The animation looks really, really solid. It's not. I think it's probably most close. Like if I was going to compare it to something. I don't know. It's kind of like a glossier version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a way, but like not like the frame rate. Like it's I don't know how to explain it. It's unique. It not in a this has never been done before type of way, but just in a they weren't following a trend with the animation, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
So I got. One Rot, one Tot available. I will go ahead and I don't really know what my old ass is. So we're going to watch this trailer of My Old Ass, which looks like it's being produced or at least distributed by Amazon. Looks like story on the 18th birthday, mushroom trip, brings her face to face with her 40-year-old self, her old ass. So, mushroom trip, classic comedy movie setup at this point, almost becoming a trope in the 2020s of if you want to have like a scene in a comedy movie that's just a bit different, you have the character take mushrooms, and then you could play around with some visuals.
Yeah.
You are happy, and I'm not 40, asshole.
You don't look happy. I feel like you're having a midlife crisis.
Well, I feel like you're high on mushrooms, so you don't know shit.
To Elliot.
No, not the whole bag.
May you experience a new level of consciousness tonight.
It is a accurate portrayal of how people take mushrooms, which you don't always get in Hollywood, because I think I like to think most of Hollywood has done mushrooms at this point, so
Wear your retainer. Left boob.
they probably know.
Yeah, I mean, all the greatest minds have admitted to doing
I'm 39
doing
years old,
drugs at
that's
some
not
point.
middle-aged. No, that is middle-aged.
to come up with their ideas.
I am a very young adult.
Very young
So
adults.
jealous you guys had good trips.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Dude, I know mom can be annoying, but be nice to her and go hang out with your brothers. Ow, Max! Also, can you avoid anyone named Chad?
Good morning, Elliot.
Have you met Chad?
Elliot, you freak. I put my number in your phone the other night, but I did not know this would work. Wait a minute.
So this is like kind of time traveling. They were actual magic mushrooms that let you speak to your 40-year-old self.
Life will never be the same as it is right now.
If that existed, I don't know if I would want to do that.
Yeah, that sounds.
I don't want
scary.
I don't want spoilers.
What's going on with you? I just feel like everything that you say makes sense
Also, that would like give me a whole conundrum of like if I even have free will or not. I'd probably have a panic attack on those shrooms for sure.
You're not an idiot.
If we weren't the same person, do you think you'd even like me?
You're just saying that because you're young and dumb.
But if you weren't young and dumb, you'd never be brave enough to do anything. Maybe you need to listen to my advice for once. Can we kiss? No. What? Can I at least touch my old ass?
Oh my god, you need to be locked up.
I do wonder about the boundaries of this. Like, obviously it's a shroom trip, but what she says in the shroom trip is real, but I assume it's not actually her 40-year-old self, like being pulled from,
yeah,
the different time. But she is 40-year-old self 21 years in the future. So, like, can she tell her other things? Maybe just like the next 21 Super Bowl champions. Or just like the next Super Bowl champion, let me put $100,000 on it or something.
Yeah, we'll be set for life.
That alters everything at that point. If you could tell me to stay away from a guy named Chad, you surely can tell me who wins the World Series in 2030.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Just one. Just give me one. That would be so frustrating if you were talking to someone that like didn't know about sports, because if you guys don't know what I'm referencing sports betting. If you're not from the US, we throw around money on sports. And if you had an idea of what, would happen in the future, you could become a billionaire, just that easy. It would be so simple. It would be so frustrating to speak to someone from the future that didn't know anything about sports, because it's just give me one thing and they'd be like, my
bad, man.
I don't really follow sports. That would be tough.
Yeah.
That would be a tough pill to swallow, because they're probably not going to remember any of the winning lottery numbers off the top of their head.
No.
But I would say my old ass, looking at it, looks like a coming of age film with a cute twist on it. Sundance Film Festival type thing. I'm going to take that as a tot. So that'll be my second tot. I got one rot left. I'll be interested where I put that. But go ahead and you have... What do you
I have two tots because I picked Transformers and Megalopolis.
Yeah.
And then I picked Speak No Evil as my rot. So
right. So we got two movies left on the board. They're both going to be rots. Which one you want?
I'm going to go with Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice as the rot. This is I believe it's like one of those faux reboots where like I think everything that happened in the original still happened in canon.
I think people are calling those legacy reboots.
Legacy reboot, that's the term. Which I do think is the way you should do reboots. Because I think it does upset the fans of the original if you just are like, hey, we're doing a new thing.
Yeah. You have to have at least like the original team back on in some capacity to carry on the story.
And I think it works. Like it introduces new audiences while not upsetting the previous, and it could bring new life into a franchise without it invalidating the original.
Yeah,
I'm into it. I'm into legacy reboots. I know there's the crowd that is upset of
Beetlejuice.
that was a cool trailer. But I know there's the crowd that is upset at Hollywood not having new ideas, which I push back on. They absolutely do. You're just going to the wrong movies. Maybe if you go to the movies that are original ideas, Hollywood would put more money into it. But unfortunately, that's not how audiences seem to operate.
Recognize this post. Never seen that shit before.
And the spirit of this one definitely does feel the same as the original Beetlejuice in terms of like the effects, the lighting, the cinematography, all that
I'm
stuff.
needed upstairs. Bob, hold down the fort. Spill your guts.
It is. I think it's definitely an advantage when you bring back the original director.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do the work.
And especially someone like Tim Burton probably really cares about making this faithful
more nightmare
to
material.
the original.
Yeah. And like Tim Burton puts so much effort into his movies that I feel like he wouldn't do a movie unless he had true passion and a real idea of the story behind it. So.
And I think that the casting is kind of perfect. I know there's people that have mixed feelings on Jenna Ortega, on the quality of actress she is, or her as a person, whatever it is. I think it's kind of a perfect way to bring in the new generation to something like this, and I think she has an appreciation for it.
Yeah.
So I think it's perfect casting. I think. Who cares how good of an actor the person is if they aren't passionate about the project that they're in? I think that stuff really does move audiences into seats. So
yeah.
We got one last movie here. This is going to be a rot. For me, it's The Killer's Game with Dave Bautista.
How did you end up here?
Work.
What do you do?
Retirement planning.
You should smile more often. It suits you.
There's only two ways out of the killer's game, Joseph. You walk away clean, or you go out on your back.
Are you okay? I'm afraid I've got some bad news, Joe. It's terminal.
How long do I have?
Best case, 3 months.
And was expecting.
Amazing to see me go out like that.
What brings you to my door?
I need a contract executed.
Who do you want retired?
Me.
I've thought about doing this for years. You killed my father. This way, I kill you and get paid.
Team me up for Joe Blood. Daddy's gotta go to work.
Has like
Gets me wet.
4
Whatever,
sitcom
Joe.
films.
I'll
Yeah.
make 'em
Oh, Flood, thank God. There's been a mistake. They switched your scan with another patient. You're not gonna die, but you might want to get your eyes checked.
I'm canceling the contract.
You think this changes anything? I'm calling in every hit on Europe, you hear me?
Yeah, when you tell me pack light, 'cause it won't fucking be staying long.
What is going on, Joe?
Maisie, I'm a hitman.
What? You kill people?
That's an assassination. Did he just hit me with a motorcycle? That's just disrespectful.
Do you think I killed him?
I hope so. Ain't no money worth this shit. Don't hate the playoff. Hate the game. I got you. Until fucking doctor too. Have you had your eyes checked?
But yeah, that's gonna be our wrap on August movies. So if there was any August movies we didn't cover that you would like us to maybe take a look into that you think were underrepresented in this segment, feel free to leave a comment below. But honestly, I think a pretty solid slate of movies compared to some of our other slower months.
Yeah. Comparing this to August, I feel like this is a stronger month for movies.
August, you mean
Like the last like.
Oh right, this is
month.
September movies. Yeah.
So you got like Borderlands, and then that Trap movie, and then what was it? What was the other bad movie that just came out? We didn't review Alien Romulus, but that's not getting very good reviews. So, people calling it the Rogue One of the Alien franchise, which just absolutely makes no sense because Rogue One is a fucking awesome movie.
You know, I'm a Rogue One hater, so maybe I'll agree with that. But I also don't have too many takes on the Alien franchise in general. I think it's all right.
Speaking of Star Wars, though, the Acolyte, which was the newest Star Wars show, just got canceled. They're no longer going to do a season 2, which I'm disappointed about because that show, for as kind of like all over the place as it was, it did have some really cool concepts and characters, and Manny Jacinto as the stranger. Just absolutely, he's one of the dudes like we were talking about earlier, where you kind of watch his career, and you know that this guy's a good actor, and you're just kind of waiting for him to be recognized. And I felt like watching The Acolyte, he was finally recognized, and I feel like he's going to start getting a lot more roles because of it. And just sad that it's not going to get a season 2.
Yeah, I don't have too many takes on that. Just being a bit outside of the Star Wars bubble for a minute right now. I think the biggest thing with me is I have no idea what that's even about. What was...
So essentially, it's like hundreds of years before any of the other Star Wars movies.
Right.
So at the height of like the Jedi and the Sith, and essentially, I'll try to summarize season 1. So there's these 2 girls, Osha and Osha and somebody else. Osha's name was just screamed so many times in the series that that's what I remember. And then, but essentially,
if you ever worked retail, you know Osha.
So these 2 girls were essentially raised by this like cult of witches, and then it was revealed that like these are essentially like Force clones. So like babies that were born from the Force. So like kind of Metachlorian-ish. And people were kind of upset that, Anakin was the chosen one, but these people are now born by Metachlorians. It doesn't make sense. Anakin was the chosen one. And so
if anything, doesn't it make more sense almost? Like he was the chosen one because he was the first in a really long time.
And like that's a thing. Like, if it happened to one person, it could, like, who's to say it doesn't happen again?
I think that's what frustrated fans back when the prequels came out was that it was just random new lore of, because we live in a world where the prequels are acted like they were always liked, which is just not an argument you will win. I'm sorry. The prequels were hated for a very long time until the kids that grew up with them were loud enough to speak their opinion, and that is fine, but that is reality. And when it came out, there was a lot of just vitriol about the idea of the Force being something that chooses you, because what made Star Wars special to people was like, this could be anybody. And I think that's what Rian Johnson wanted to echo, because that's what he grew up with. Is the Force can be anybody, which is why there were so many scenes about that, which I don't think were super well done. But there's like 2 schools of thought on it. Yeah. But it almost makes me feel better knowing that there are others out there other than Anakin. Yeah. Because in reality, he wasn't that powerful when you compare him to like the Emperor and like Yoda and stuff. Like they could keep him in check, so why was he so special if he wasn't all that powerful in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, because I guess he was supposed to bring balance to the Force.
Shout out. He was.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the episode. We were going to do a new segment, or actually, did you want to get into?
I just wanted to real quick, talk about I know
it
there's
ends
probably
with us.
there's probably not a big overlap in people that are interested in It Ends With Us and superhero movies and the stuff we talk about. But maybe Trent's mom, she might be interested in this. It's an okay movie. I really don't have a glowing review. It's kind of bland at times. But when I went opening weekend, I got a temporary tattoo of like the heart from the movie, which is like significant because it was carved out of wood. He carves like a heart out of wood, and it's immaculate. I don't know how he carved like that shape. That's insane. I don't know anybody that has tried carving things out of wood, but trying to carve something that shape was insane. It's like a heart, but it's like a outline of a heart. It's nuts. If it was a solid heart, anyways, there's a bit of drama going on.
Yeah.
Because the lead actor, I guess, had back problems. Back problems they can get any of us, including striking men that are very, very, very fit. They could still have back problems. So I guess he was going around asking how much Blake Lively weighed. And I don't know 100% the nature, but it was in a way that Blake Lively felt was disrespectful. And his defense was he wanted to know how much she weighed so he could train to lift her. To not mess up his back, which does make sense when you say it, but then it also doesn't make sense because it's like, what is it? You could look at a woman and be like, okay, she's anywhere between 140 and 180. You could. What difference does your training make?
Yeah.
To like lifting her, either you can do it or you can't.
Yeah.
So I could also kind of see the feeling disrespected by the idea of him going around asking how much she weighed.
Yeah.
But interesting movie experience. I've never been in a theater where I did count going in. There was 2 other men in the theater. I went with my girlfriend, and I guess not a lot of other men were willing to brave that. Craziest ratio in a movie theater I have ever seen. Literally 98% women, which, hey, seems like it did beat Deadpool in its opening weekend. There was some jokes about that, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds duking it out for the top box office spot. But if you are someone that enjoys romance books, it's worth a watch. If you are someone that does not enjoy romance books, probably not worth a watch. That's my review.
Nice. There is some. I did hear that. So there was like the director made the cut of that movie, and then Blake Lively wasn't that happy about the cut, and so she had Ryan Reynolds production company kind of do a rough edit, and it's not clear what. I mean, I'm assuming that's probably the director's vision that's on the screen, but it is kind of weird how she kind of commissioned an alternate cut from Ryan Reynolds' production company.
That's very strange, and I'd be very interested into what was changed. Because there's a lot of things that are changed from the book that my girlfriend let me know. There was just a few things, and there's a few directorial choices that are a little strange. It's a movie about physical abuse. So it's a very touchy subject, and it does when you're editing something like that, especially editing it from a point of manipulation and being blind to it. How do you really do that? Do you keep the audience blind to it? Do you leave subtle hints? How do you do it? A lot of questions around that, and I think I would have made different choices in that regard, but I also don't know what I would have done. So I do wonder if her cut centers around how they portrayed the physical abuse. That would be one of my theories, but who knows? Maybe we'll look more into that. Give you guys an update, since I know you guys are dying to know what Blake Lively wanted to change in This Is Us 2024.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for the show. But I wanted to bring in a new segment, which is voicemails. So you can actually call in to our show and leave us a voicemail. Let me get out the phone number real fast.
While he's getting the voicemail phone number, I just want to say, would really appreciate if anybody did this. We're obviously not expecting a ton to come in. We do have some from our very, very loyal viewers that watch us all the time. But we want to hear from some people. I know you like lurking, and maybe you only watch like 1 or 2 videos here and there. But if this is the one you're listening to and you've made it all the way to the end, this is your sign to be on the next episode of the Variant Cast, to have some influence on the content. Would love it if you decided to take the time to do so. Yeah,
and all you need to do that is to call 661-299-7525, and leave us a voicemail. You could ask us a question, tell us our opinions are wrong, or anything. So
I just to throw some opinions out there, I think Rogue One is maybe the worst Star Wars movie outside of Episode 2. I think that Iron Man 3 is a top 6 Marvel movie. I think that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is probably like top 2. And yeah, I don't care for Star Wars as a franchise, despite having strong takes on it. And yes, I was born on Star Wars Day.
I think that has a little bit of something to do with it.
Maybe I'm bitter. Maybe I'm bitter that my favorite Star Wars movie is the most hated one.
It's facts. It shouldn't be. So let's go ahead and get to these voicemails. I opened up this voicemail account, and then these 2 voicemails just randomly showed up. So kind of cool that we have some diehard fans that are willing to reach out to us, even when I don't even have it set up.
I believe one of them actually came, the first one that we're about to play, physical. I don't think he quite understood the point of a voicemail.
Yeah.
So he sent it in on a USB attached to a bottle filled with yellow liquid. I didn't want to figure out what that smelled like, but I have to assume it is lemonade. But after it was sent through the postage, I don't think that would have been safe to digest. So I threw that away.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Good call on that one. Let's go ahead and get to it.
Hey, Variant Cast boys. I'm a big fan calling from you from Los Angeles.
Wait. Sorry, I think I gotta make sure that's on. Yeah. All right. Let's hear from this gentleman here.
Hey, Variant Cast boys. I'm a big fan calling from you from Los Angeles. I know you guys have been harsh on me in the past, but I want to let you guys know first that my next movie, The Smashing Machine, directed by Benny Safdie, is going to tear the house down.
Love Benny Safdie. So
I really wanted to know what each of your guys' favorite TV shows of all time are. Thanks, fellas. Love the pod. Rock out.
Damn. Okay.
I don't know who that was. Maybe someone that works on that movie, either in production or something. But he said we were hard on him.
Gave us a name. Yeah.
Yeah, it said we were hard on him. So I don't appreciate the bottle of liquid he sent. But to answer your question, and I appreciate you listening. I think it's really hard to determine favorite TV show, but I think there's a difference between like best and favorite, and I kind of just default to what has influenced my life the most, and what like I feel like is almost a core tenet of my personality.
Yeah,
and that would be Community. I think start to finish, Community is the reason I like rap music, because like I kind of got into that with Childish Gambino. Oh, Troy from Community makes rap, and then I kind of went down that rabbit hole, and his Camp EP was kind of a big stepping stone into the more hip hop side of hip hop. I guess you could say, even though it was like, you know, a Hollywood actor making that. And one of my favorite actors of all time, one of my favorite artists of all time, Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, and the humor is, you know, what I kind of would align my humor with. So yeah, I would say Community.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That Community is definitely up there. I think that Parks and Rec definitely influenced like a lot of my humor and things like that. But if we're going like all-time shows, I mean, Breaking Bad is probably up there just because it's perfect all the way around. I feel like I understood, you know, like that was like what really got me into TV, and like seeing just like how you could have a TV show that's still like so cinematic and just like just the amount of like artistry that went into it. I feel like made Breaking Bad my favorite TV show of all time.
I think it's just crazy how much TV shows have like come in the last like 20 years.
Yeah.
We used to be at the point where like Lost was considered one of the best TV shows of all time. Now Lost is like goofy.
Yeah.
Stuff like The Wire really holds up. But like stuff like The Office was revolutionary, but also it's just kind of middle of the road in terms of a lot of shows nowadays. And I don't think that's a bad thing. That's just really how far the you know, that form of media has come. And I think it was always kind of looked at as lesser than movies. And now it's very much on par. And I'm sure it makes probably very similar money when you talk about streaming.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's go ahead and hear this next one.
Hey Ty, hey Trent. This is a big Variant Cast fan calling from New York, and I wanted to thank you guys for your support of my Dune 2 project. I wanted to ask you guys, what's the opposite of cake? We were having this debate on set, and it was very split. In my mind, the opposite of cake is pie. Some are saying ice cream cake / fruit cake, etc. Another says pudding. What do you think?
No, definitely not pudding.
Love the pie.
Peace. It really depends on what you're like. I hate to get philosophical on you. He also didn't say his name, but I really, it's a loaded question of what the opposite of cake is, because like, do you go like off the food spectrum, or do you have to stay in
like
food?
Still in cake? Like it's like, I guess if it's opposite, it's not going to look like. It's not.
Yeah, because it would be like, oh, the opposite of cake. What would that be? I don't know, mercury, like, like just something completely different than cake. But you know, mercury kind of looks like frosting, so maybe not even that. Maybe you'd have to go even further and be like a living thing, like some sort of fish would be the opposite of cake.
Yeah.
Like the coral reef. But maybe the colors are too similar. This is tough.
Yeah, you're right. It truly is a loaded question.
But to like stay on a bit on topic of the question, it seems like most of the people on set were answering other
food items,
pastries, baking stuff. I
think I would go. I think pie's an answer.
It's an answer, but like I feel like they're more cousins than they are like opposites.
Because like cake is dense, pie is like jelly filled,
right?
Or is like has like a filling in it. But I guess cake could also have a filling. So,
cake is baked versus ice cream, which is frozen. I think that might be closer. Maybe like shaved ice.
Yeah.
But that's
I don't know.
I don't know if that would be adequate. I'll go with mercury. That's my answer.
And I'll go with pie. So thank you for calling in. Thank you for your questions. This has been a great episode. Why don't you take us away, Ty?
Yeah, I really enjoyed all the questions. Make sure I'm sure there will be the phone number either in the description or on screen. Yep. Make sure to give it a call, give us a message, give us a question, make fun of the way I dress, make fun of the way I look, make fun of the way I talk. I would love to hear it. Other than that, I would thank everyone for making it this far in the program, and we'll see you next time. And make sure to just have a good good day.
And tell us what the opposite of cake is, please.
Yeah, what's the opposite of cake? And if it is mercury, does mercury look like frosting? If mercury was on your cake, would you think twice about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Peace.
Deuces.